Hello all you forest explorers. Welcome to another branch manager episode. I'm Doug, I'm the branch manager. This is episode number 30. I'm in a community forest approximately 8 kilometers southwest of Bowser, BC. Bowser, north of Qualicum Bay, BC. This forest, of course, has trails through it for community. It's crown land, public land, for people to walk through, trails meandering through in all different directions. I was doing that very thing, wandering through, and noticed this tree. One of the last times I was here, took a good look at it. The tree behind me, the crowns of the trees around it. Can you see that tree in the middle? That has definitely a very streamlined look about it. It's the top itself, the canopy we call it, the green part, is smaller, it's more uniform, it's well balanced. The tree itself is higher than the trees around it. And of course, using the rule of thumb the foresters use, to measure out approximately 25 to 30 meters around the tree is the rule of thumb. And try to include in that 25 meters or so 4 more of that same species, which I did. In fact, you can see those trees pretty well in the canopy there, the other 4. So I had to look at several things. Now, having compared those 4 trees to this tree, which I call a plus tree, is quite a difference. Now, the other 4 around it are inferior in a lot of ways. They're close to the same age, pretty well the same age. They're shorter by 20 meters or so. They don't have the uniform growth, and the age to height ratio is less. So that's a few factors to consider when you're looking for plus trees. And normally you don't look for plus trees, you sort of come to you. Why is that? Because they're rare. A lot of them haven't been discovered. Now this one here, see it again in the middle, it's going straight up. The trunk is very straight. It's very free of branches. Another sign of a plus tree. It is, again, the growth is exceptional. It even makes my jaw drop, and I have seen plus trees before. The plus trees in the province of British Columbia are numbered, registered, and marked, and their location is also noted so that they can be found again, and if possible, if they need to be used for certain things, then they can be. Now, one of those uses is the cones. The cones of a plus tree are, as you can probably guess, are superior to any other trees around it, or trees of inferior qualities of the same species in this case. So the cones can be harvested. Now, I have done harvesting with using a helicopter and a harvesting machine which cuts the cones off the top and hover above the tree, and it cuts the cones, basically shakes the cones off, and it drops into a basket, and then you fly away with all these cones. Now, the seeds in those cones are superior. They are from a plus tree. Those seeds can be used anywhere for experimental basis. Quite often they're taken to areas where there's high sight, so we're maximizing all the qualities of a forest stand. So we plant those trees, we plant the seeds, the young seedlings, or we grow them into seedlings, plant them in these areas, and we're going to have a forest. I basically going to call it a plus forest because it is over and above in quality, size, and given that the site is a good site, like that's a good growing site, just like your garden would be a good growing site with soil, that's the situation would be. So that's exactly what would happen. Now, A lot of these trees now, the cones are taken and the seeds are extracted for research purposes. To look at the seeds, look at the progeny to see how much further ahead are they than the other trees around it, or generally to a forest stand. So this grand fir is definitely a grand fir in the sense of a descriptive word for it. Again, it stands out in the middle, straight. The trunk is straight. And if you look at the top, it's quite uniform, smaller, but the tree has all the qualities, and the age to growth is phenomenally high. And like I said, it's almost reached, let's say in feet, to be almost 2 feet per year. With that in mind, folks, if you're out in the forest again, doing some forest exploring, looking around and you see a tree like this that looks unusually better, or better shaped, better looking than trees around it, and sometimes they're right beside the trail like this one is, then it could be a plus tree, and it could be reported. In fact, the information could be sent to the Ministry of Forest, the research branch, or any part of the Ministry of Forest. So I'm glad you were joining me today. I'm glad I could get this episode out to you with this information. It's unique. It's unusual that I actually found this tree. It was by chance, but there it is. Grand fir plus tree in the purest form. So thank you for watching, folks, and I want to remind you, keep it real and keep it green. Thank you.